Alright, bro, it's T and I'm back with another video. And guess who it's on? Our favorite guy, Alex Leonidis, Alpha Destiny. So he's gonna show you how to build biceps. 3 tips for massive biceps, bro. I gotta love this man.
If your biceps are small, try out these 3 special techniques that all work together. First of all, if you're following a classic body part split or push-pull setup, you'll notice that upper body days typically pair chest with triceps and back with biceps. This makes...
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about it. I never thought about that. I love the lighting here, eh? It makes them look all like really good. Lighting is really important to fake the look, bro. It's very important to fake looks.
sense because the isolation work includes the same muscles as the compounds and don't interfere with upcoming workouts.
I guess he learned a lot about lighting, how to, fake that look. Make him look better than he is with lighting. Yeah, it's great. I love these Olympic rings. They're great. I used to use Olympic rings, way back in the day. I used to do gymnastics, man. Yeah, I like that stuff, but it's not something I want to do anymore. You understand me? Yeah, you do stuff, you get bored of it really quickly, these things. You move on to new stuff. You want to keep doing new things, new challenges and things. I hate going back in time and trying to do stuff in the past that I already conquered, and now I got to conquer it all over again in my old age. I want to do other stuff. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Muscular overlap. However, if your biceps are lagging, I'd recommend reversing this order by switching to chest and biceps instead of back and biceps.
Well, doing the rings definitely gives you a lot of stretch to the bicep, which can cause some micro tears to it, more micro tears. That's about it. Everybody thinks that to build muscle, they have to lift a heavy weight to build muscle. The truth is, if you're getting micro tears in your muscles, you don't need weights to cause these micro tears. Anything can cause a micro tear in your muscle, providing you're unaccustomed to doing that movement. You understand me? But what causes it to grow and get big, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. That's the most important thing, which on the internet, nobody has money to eat, so they just will convince you that lifting weight will build a muscle. Okay.
And for optimal results,
that means that breatharians are building their bodies, breathing air. Yeah.
Definitely start your workout with curls. This is old school muscle priority, allowing you to train biceps.
Oh, that looks really fancy and cute. So you hold your arm on a bar and you go like this with the thing to look really cool in the lighting, right? Is that it? How many people doing that in the gym? I don't know too many. Yeah, I'm not doing that, man. I don't know.
With no central fatigue and recruit all motor units with the highest stimulus.
Well, I've seen some people do that. It's not a necessity. It's not a necessity to do any of these things. Look, are you opening a window for protein just to get like mass onto the muscle? Again, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You can actually just do that by eating meat, a ton load of protein. But doing these exercises, really you're adapted. You're not really busting muscle. Like I said before, bro, it's really complicated. But anyway, let's just watch this.
Similar to an arm day. But the great news here is that this is not pre-exhaust and therefore has very little impact on the upcoming presses. This method is much better than starting with curls than hitting pull-ups and rows because that has a noticeable performance drop-off. So unless your back is overly developed, I wouldn't recommend that for most lifters. But with chest and biceps pairing, there's no problems, eliminating the need for a separate arm day. On top of that, there's the bonus of increased biceps frequency since your back day will also engage them, ensuring they're consistently stimulated throughout the week. So you can confidently go heavy on your curl.
Constantly stimulated throughout the week. Stimulated to accelerate aging? Is that it? Okay. Again, this whole stimulus thing is not really necessary. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. If you were to eat more protein than what is being broken down during the day in your muscles, you'll grow muscles. Yeah. That's why you see these office people, they look massive because they eat all the best food. They eat meat. They eat protein. They eat animal products. That's why they're massive. They're not eating slave food, slave diets like, fucking grass all day and wood chips and shit. Yeah.
And give it your 100% without worrying about recovery. And if you previously struggle work capacity or tend to half-ass your curls after the compound movements, well, this setup universally solves this. The only limiting factor is your motivation to push, since fatigue is never a factor. And given that curls offer a favorable stimulus to fatigue ratio, you can push to failure and even beyond without ever worrying about what comes after, where you can now
To keep cool under pressure, I need a clear mind. Gillette Clear Gel has 72-hour sweat protection that goes on clear.
after, where you can now bench press your usual weights, feeling as if the workout is just kicking off, despite having already pushed your biceps to their limit. It's when...
Sorry about that. There's a car beeping there, whatever. Yeah, this is funny too, man, this whole lifting thing. Why do you need to do this? Reverse lift. What is this? Like, I don't understand any of this. Again, these are circus acts. You see, I try to explain to you.
Win. And split-wise,
They want to conquer the weights and play with the weights and play and fool around.
this may explain why Dorian Yates also trained this manner with his chest and biceps day.
No, Dorian Yates wasn't training to be good at lifting weights, okay? He wasn't training to do circus acts. He's not a circus act guy on the internet, a fitness dude. He was a bodybuilder on a stage. He lifted weights. He didn't give a shit what he looked like. He didn't care if it was nasty, screaming, yelling, pulling things up and down. He just was doing whatever it took him to get to where he wanted to go. He just shot the dart wherever it would land. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't sure, you understand? He took some fake drugs and built a fake physique.
His biceps were comparatively lagging, and this approach worked for him.
I'm surprised Leonidis is using these steroid guys, man. Usually he's so against steroids, I guess because he must have taken it himself recently.
obviously not achieve even a fraction of Mr. Olympia level gains, let's be real, but they'll lost. Now my second tip is about which exercise you should start with, and that is a hammer curl. Why?
The hammer curl is the manlet look, bro. It's never going to make you taller. You're never going to get bigger. And shoot for it forever. It's never happening, bro.
Well, the primary function of the biceps is elbow flexion, and hammer curls alone could lead to significant growth
Is that the secret? Elbow flexion.
if you got strong over time. Someone who can hammer curl the 60s won't have small biceps even if they never lead to significant growth if you got strong over time. Someone
It'll lead to significant growth if you got stronger over time. He's lying, just like the other video. Oh my God, it's like the Menzer thing, bro. If you get the stronger, you're gonna get a bigger over time. He's gonna grow from the air. The weight is gonna make a muscle grow. The weight is on the outside. There's no contact with the muscle, but somehow it's gonna magically make those muscles grow, bro.
who can hammer curl the 60s won't have small biceps even if they never went underhand. Just saying. That said, while you technically don't need to supinate your wrist, it's benefit.
This is why people that listen to this channel, that's why he failed. He failed and went on drugs because that's just my opinion and belief. But he failed and he went on something. He took taking something, doing something artificial to fake it because he couldn't make it, bro. Get it? This is all to impress you. And it's fake what he's saying. Come on. A stronger can't make getting a stronger lift. Let's say getting a better lift on a weight doesn't make a muscle grow bigger.
So please don't misinterpret my message. I'm just pointing out that the biceps are still heavily engaged even with neutral hand positions, which is important because
If you were to hold those weights long enough or do squats or something, a gravitational loading, well, yeah, they'll also, you eating these proteins and everything, they'll expand as well, gravitational loading and unloading. But it's always unloading. After you go home and you sleep, you're unloading and then you're loading again. It's ridiculous. It's like the inflammation thing where these guys were talking about. Every time these guys would lift weights, they would just get inflammation and then pretend big from, a little bit of inflammation, walk around, pretend, and then the inflammation would go away and then they redo it all over again.
hammer curls are gentler on the elbow joints and serve as a warm-up while including a bit more brachialis and forms without taking away from the biceps. This extra biasing is
Looking very muscular there in the light. Looks really good. Looks very muscular, bro. Right.
is important because a developed brachialis pushes the biceps out.
He has really low testosterone. I could bet you that Leonidis, Alpha Destiny has really, really, really low testosterone. Probably crashed to the floor. I heard he's even on vegan, right? Doing vegan diets or whatever the fuck. How is he getting like this on vegan? This is just ridiculous. He must be dying. He's got circles under his eyes. His hair is lost because of the low testosterone. He's got high estrogen, man.
Outward, creating an illusion of bigger arms and more distinct separation between the biceps and the triceps.
Let's see the squeeze.
Move on to the brutal stuff. Speaking of which,
Oh, let's see this. Start with hammer curls.
after your hammer curls, I'd recommend starting with squeeze-based curls, such as spider curls,
Squeeze base curls. Yeah, spider curls. Okay, that's it.
expander curls, and or regular cable curls, where the top portion is quite difficult because they'll further warm up the entire arm. Plus, muscles are weaker in the shortened position and fatigue faster. So
They fatigue faster in the short position. See, when you're adapted, they fatigue faster, but when you're getting actually muscle damage on unaccustomed exercise and getting muscle damage, the force production, force capacity goes down. But an adapted muscles, they get fatigued and then you lose this capacity. See the difference, man?
if you initiate with a lengthened curl, like incline curls or pelican curls, your capacity to push through on expander curls will be compromised.
Why does he have to do all these different variations of moving the weight around? You can just do one thing and it'll get the same result. I don't understand. What is that? What exactly why are you doing so many of these? What's the point of doing so many of these movements? You're not getting any damage in there. You're breaking down more protein, so how can you build them up if you're breaking more down in an adapted state? See what I mean? If you're adapted, muscles being protected by the repeated butt effect, how the fuck could you, you're not getting any damage, they're not damaging, so you're adapted, so what exactly are you fucking doing there? I don't get it. I know, breaking down proteins, and so then you need more food to build them up again, so you shrink if you don't eat that. See? You could get to net zero, but you need to exceed that protein breakdown.
This is because you might fatigue prematurely past the midpoint, thinking you hit failure when it was actually an exercise sticking point, which was made
That's why
difficult.
all people are failing on the internet. It's this shit that all you people are failing watching this and listening to these fake gurus. That's why you are failing. The recipe is not difficult to build muscle. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. To maintain something, it needs to reach net zero. That's the midpoint. But anything in growth, protein synthesis needs to exceed breakdown. That's it, to build muscles. That's all it is. Now, to get damage to muscles, myofibrils, they need to be unaccustomed. Now, if you're in an adapted state, you want to build up some mass, you want to go to the gym, you want to do the least amount of volume sets and reps. You want to do, reps, you could do some sets, but the least amount of reps, and possibly you would be moving some weights around, and you'd have more effort in moving around heavier weight. But that's not what's getting you bigger, a heavier weight. It's because you've done less, so there's less involved when it comes to the breakdown of the proteins. So the guy who's doing a lot more volume and you doing less, you don't have to eat so much protein. If you're eating the same protein, you'll get bigger faster than him, whatever. Yeah. But you're not burning down any fat. All right, let's just get on.
Overcome due to faulty exercise order, or rather subpar in this context, which matters for low volume, high intensity programs where efficiency is key. That's why with mechanical drop sets, we begin.
Mechanical drop sets. Efficiency is the key, my friend. Yes. To getting the muscles of your dreams. Fortunately, it's not going to work out for anyone.
With the shortened curl and conclude with the lengthened. Now, if you don't have any short work, just mid and lengthened, then starting with the lengthened is.
This is why none of you natural people are making it. Look, I remember when I got really big and I walked into the gym, I got really big doing what I was doing, muscle damage and eating and this and that. And I was in the gym, I was doing some heavy squats all the time. Constantly on my leg day, I would do heavy squats. I could because I was stronger. I had more myofibrils. It allowed me to do it with ease. I didn't force myself to push myself to go heavier. I just could lift lift certain things heavy because I was stronger now, physically more stronger. And so they all thought it was the squats. So they started running around on the Smith machine, taking turns with each of them, thinking that was the secret. That's how I got big. I did a bunch of squats and it made me big. You gotta be crazy, bro. You know how much I invested in eating at the buffet? Hours at a time, bro, to build my body. It was the food that built my body. The breakdown, the damage, that's just the catalyst. But to eat, that was the work that was involved. Wow, that was heavy duty. That's why people that take steroids,